scared to answer because you're locked in another man's house. Locked in another man's prison, man. You will never get out of that psychological prison until you open the door and Christ set you free. That's right. Woo! Read on.
Chapter 9 and verse 13.
Bring it up.
As it is written.
As it is written. Read.
Jacob have I loved.
Jacob have I loved. Read.
But Esau.
But who?
But Esau.
The so-called white man. Read.
Have I hated.
Sister and brother, we've been to school before. I know 1 + 1, 2 + 2, 2 × 2 = 4. I know these things. So you mean to tell me my English teacher didn't tell me past tense? And what's the future tense? ED mean that's past tense. These brothers ain't even dropped out in 8th grade, but they're going to try to tell you how to read. The Most High said, as it is written. As it is written. And when the Most High writes something, you can't take it back. Jacob have I loved. The Most High say he used to love Jacob. He don't love him anymore. Esau have I hated. He said I used to hate Esau, but I don't hate him anymore. Sister and brother, this is the beginning of this class right here. Please tune in.
That's right.
Esau is not the white man.
That's right.
He is Jacob's brother. Please believe this, sisters and brothers. Please believe this. What we at, Brother Nate?
14.
Okay. No. 13 and 9, right?
Yes, sir. 9:13.
9:13. Read on.
Verse 14.
Uh-huh.
What shall we say then?
What shall we say then? Read.
Is there unrighteousness with God?
So, that's a question, brothers and sisters. There is a question mark after that. Is there unrighteousness with God because he said that he don't love Jacob anymore and he loved Esau? Is there unrighteousness with that? Man, corner, we would talk that man, that's the corner message sail down now to the Nile River. I'm denying that.
All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakha Kwadash. I want to give double honor to that apostle, now this great millstone, who rule well and teach well. Peace and blessing to you, sincere. I can let a push this truth all over the four corners of the earth, week in and week out, in all truth and sincerity. I want to do a video concerning these guys from one body in Yahweh Shai. And now that they're teaching that the Most High doesn't hate Esau anymore, and that he doesn't love Jacob anymore, okay? That the Most High no longer hates a so-called white man, and he no longer loves you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, all right? And this is just a bunch of madness, man, all right? And as you saw in the video clip, you know, if you go back and watch it again, you know, peep his body language, man. All right, his body language is very, very telling, and is speaking very, very loudly. Okay, now I want to go into this article concerning body language real quick, and I'll leave the link in the description box as well. It says body language refers to the non-verbal signals that we use to communicate. These non-verbal signals make up a huge part of daily communication. In fact, body language may account for between 60 to 65% of all communication. Examples of body language include facial expressions, eye gaze, gestures, posture, and body movements. In many cases, the things we don't say can convey volumes of information, and the things, his body movement, his hand gestures, all right, you know, the different looks that he's, you know, the different postures that he has, is giving us a whole lot of information. And what is that information that we're receiving? That he's just pulling a whole bunch of shit out of his ass, all right? And we believe that the leadership of these different particular groups, man, all right, they've taken that bag, they've sold out, they signed on the dotted line, all right? They've entered in a contract with these different particular agencies, these different groups, all right? Some of them are Masons, and some of them are just downright agents, all right? You know, set up to cause confusion amongst the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and ultimately they're trying to lead you into or persuading you to trust in this system and ultimately take that MOTB. Okay, now, and you know who this guy reminds me of? Let's get the clip real quick. His you know, I'm gonna get the clip. Hold on. This is who this guy reminds me of. Let's play a little bit of it.
Is so concerned about you.
Pastor Kearney Thomas. That's what this guy reminds me. He reminds me of Pastor Kearney Thomas.
I mean, you're going to hell right now, and you're needing God to work the miracle. Pray that God will not only hear, but God.
You know, they got the
Scared to answer because you're locked in another man's house.
they're using the same
Locked in
hand
another
movements.
man's prison, man. You'll never get out of that psychological prison until you open the door and Christ set you free.
You go, you know, because you know a lot of these other camps they use a lot of antics. You know, they use a lot of gimmicks, a lot of things to attract the simple-minded. Okay. Now I want to go over to I want to bring out a couple precepts real quick. Let's go to Titus chapter 1. And let's start in verse 10. It says, "For there are many unruly and vain talkers and deceivers, especially they of the circumcision, concerning you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans." And this is what you're seeing on the screen. You're seeing a vain talker, okay, and a deceiver. He's trying to deceive you so-called Negroes and Latinos and Native Americans into putting trust in the so-called white man, putting trust in his system, and that the Most High doesn't hate Esau, Edom. And this, you know, this kind of reminds you of the IUIC when they were pushing that, you know, God hates Esau, but we don't hate Esau. You know, they weren't saying the exact same thing as this particular group, but it's very similar. All right, because ultimately they were trying to persuade their congregation, which I still believe they teach that, to not hate the so-called white man. All right, and that God hates the so-called white man, but we're not supposed to hate the so-called white man. But the scriptures are completely contrary to what they're teaching, man. Did not David say, "I hate them that hate thee? I hate them with perfect hatred"? Okay. It says, "For there are many unruly and vain talkers and deceivers, especially they of the circumcision, whose mouths must be stopped, who subvert whole houses." Okay, you hear the people in the background talking about bring it out. Con. You know, you got a lot of simple so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans that know they're Israelites, man. All right, that just take everything, whatever the leadership says, they're gonna run with it, man. All right, and the majority of these guys amongst these other camps, man, they're just niggas with garments on, man. All right, it says, whose mouths must be stopped, who subvert whole houses, teaching things which they ought not. All right, and this is something that they're teaching that they should not be teaching, man. All right, the Most High hates Esau. Okay, the Most High has made this man the lowest man on the earth, the base level man. All right, and when you go into the book of Obadiah, which we'll jump into, okay, eventually he's gonna completely do away with this man. All right, it says, teaching things which they ought not for filthy lucre's sake. All right, and we believe that the leadership of these different particular groups have been compromised, man. All right, they've taken that Judas purse, they've taken that bag. All right, they've entered in different contracts to not teach, you know, the full truth, to not teaching the true name of the Most High, not to teaching the true name of the Son. Okay, to go off on certain parts of the laws. Okay. You know, to persuade you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans to ultimately not believe the truth, because if you're not teaching the complete truth, hey, guess what? You ain't teaching the truth. Let's go to Amos chapter 3 and 2 real quick. It says, let's start from verse 1. Amos 3 and 1. It says, hear this word that the Lord has spoken against you, O children of Israel, against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, you only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore I will punish you for all your iniquities. Okay? You know, the Most High Yahweh, hey, he only deals deals with the Israelites, man. Okay? You know, all the prophets of old were Israelites. Okay? Let's go over to Proverbs chapter 19 real quick. This is Proverbs 19 and 27. It says, cease, my son, to hear the instruction that causes to err from the words of knowledge. All right, let's read it again. It says, cease, my son, to hear the instruction that causes to err from the words of knowledge. And what these guys are doing are causing you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans that follow and that are amongst the congregation that follow these different particular groups that look up to these guys and think that these guys have knowledge and wisdom and that the Most High is dealing with them. They're causing you to err. They're causing you to go off. Okay? On many different aspects, man. They're incorrectly breaking the scriptures down wrong. They're telling you, ultimately persuading you to love the so-called white man and his system. They're telling you can do this, you can do that. They're telling you you can have sex on the Sabbath. You know, they go off concerning the Sabbath. You know, you got different particular groups teaching. Well, I'll just say IUIC because that's the only group that I know of that's teaching that the new moon is the full moon, which is completely off. All right, and you know, there's a long list with these other camps that just teach all types of things which are contrary, you know, to the truth. It says, cease, my son, to hear the instruction that causes to err from the words of knowledge. Let's go to the 2 Peter chapter 2. And let's start from verse 1. It says, but there were false prophets also among the people, even as there shall be false teachers among you. You know, and this is all part of prophecy, man. Okay? You know, scriptures prophesied that there would be false teachers in the last days, man. Okay? It says, who privately shall bring in damnable heresies, even denying the Lord who brought them, and bring upon themselves swift destruction. Okay, so that's what you see on the screen. Damnable heresies, teaching things which they ought not. Okay, and it says even denying the Lord that brought them, and bring upon themselves swift destruction. You know, and Apostle Ramlab, in one of his recent live streams, you know, concerning these guys, he said, I wouldn't be surprised if these guys, you know, stop believing in you know, I'm not saying it word for word as he put it, but basically he was saying I wouldn't be surprised if these guys, you know, stop believing in, you know, Yahushua, or stop teaching Yahushua completely. Okay, you know, and these other camps are ever so changing, man. We're seeing more and more what they've done in the dark without them coming out and directly saying it. It's coming out, all right. You know, it's being brought to the light, being brought to light, just like the scriptures said. Matter of fact, let's get that and we'll jump right back in 2 Peter, the second chapter. Let's go to Luke, verse 18. You know, because the Lord, he's going to bring everything out. You ain't going to be able to hide anything. These guys thought they were just going to ride off into the sunset, that the things that they did behind closed doors were never going to be brought out to the public, that the things, the contracts they entered, the money they took, that none of that stuff was going to be exposed, that it was all going to be kept secret, okay? Because Esau said so. Because they said, we'll make sure nothing, everything will stay in the dark. This contract that you, you know, or agreement that me concerning Esau, you know, the contract between these agencies and these groups was always gonna be top secret. Okay, it says Luke 8:17, for nothing is secret that shall not be made manifest, neither anything hid that shall not be known and come abroad. All right. So all of these things that they've done behind closed doors, all right, all these things that they're doing and we're gonna do in the future is all gonna be brought to light. Okay. It says, for nothing is secret that shall not be made manifest, neither anything hid. See, they thought that these different deals and agreements they entered in with Esau was always gonna stay top secret and hid. But they don't. Hey, this man is the devil, man. All right. Hey, this is the wicked of the earth. You think that he is gonna, you know, keep keep good with his contracts, with his side of the bargain? Hell no, man. Even though even though you may have entered in a contract with Esau, man. Hey, he's known for that. All right. He's a known habitual truce breaker. Okay, a contract breaker, man. All right. If you go into the times of the different so-called agreements that Esau made with Gad and Reuben, the so-called Native Americans, all right, the so-called Native American Indians, that he broke all his truces, he broke all of his agreements, he broke all his so-called contracts. All right. Now I want to close out on the book of Obadiah. This is Obadiah, verse. Let's start from the top, and I'm gonna skip around in this chapter. It says, the vision of Obadiah, thus saith the Lord Yahweh concerning Edom. We have heard a rumor from the Lord, and an ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised. All right, see, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai made Esau small among these heathens. Okay, and he's going to be despised the most. All right, out of all the nations, concerning the end times, he's going to be despised. All right, the most out of all the nations on the earth, man. When all these things play out, okay, it says, thou art greatly despised. The pride of thine heart hath deceived thee. Thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rocks, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest in the stars, thence I will bring thee down, saith the Lord. Okay, and the most prideful man on the earth is the so-called white man. And the Most High Yahweh made him that way. Okay. It said, let's skip down to verse 8. It says, shall I not in that day, saith the Lord, even destroy the wise men out of Edom, and understanding out of the mount of Esau, and the mighty men of Teman shall be dismayed, to the end that every one of the mount of Esau may be cut off by slaughter. All right. So eventually, the Most High Yahweh is going to completely wipe out all of these Edomites, man. All right. That don't sound like love to me. That sounds like hatred. Okay. It says, verse 10, for thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. So Esau is going to be completely cut off, man. All right, after he serves his captivity under the hands of the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, the Most High Yahweh is going to exterminate him, all right, and completely wipe out the whole nation of Edom, all right, all of these Edomites. And another scripture came to mind that I want to get real quick. Let's go to John chapter 11. And let's go down to verse 48. Because Esau, he's got spies and agents even amongst a great millstone. Amongst all these camps, there's spies and agents, and even different organizations and groups. Okay, concerning these activists, Black Lives Matter, the KKK, these white supremacist groups, all these different particular organizations, so to speak, have been infiltrated, man. Okay, it's John 11 verse, I think it's verse 48. Let's see here. Okay, let's start in verse 45. It says, Then many of the Jews which came to Mary and had seen the things which Yahushua did believed on him. But some of them went their ways to the Pharisees and told them what things Yahushua had done. Then gathered the chief priests and the Pharisees a council and said, What do we, or said Slaki, and said, What do we, for this man doeth many miracles? So they saw, many people believing in, Yahushua. They saw people believing because of the miracles and the different and the words, that Yahushua was speaking. It says, verse 48, If we let him thus alone, all men will believe on him, and the Romans shall come and take away both our place and nation. Okay? So they sought how to trip up Yahushua, so to speak, to catch him in his words. They sought for information. They ultimately sought to infiltrate so they could bring certain information and false accusations before, the Romans, because, you have to understand, the wicked scribes and Pharisees were receiving, money and various different things from the Romans, okay, and they were in fear that they were going to lose their favor, okay, with the Romans. Now let's go over to Psalms 26 and then we can close out. This is Psalms 26 and 9. It says, Gather not my soul with sinners, nor my life with bloody men, in whose hands is mischief, and their right hand is full of bribes. And, we're seeing the bribes that Esau has laid out before different men amongst these different groups and camps. Now, do we have full proof? Can we 100% say without a shadow of a doubt that these men have, sold out, that have entered into a contract with Esau, that are agents, that are this, that are that? No, okay? But we just perceive through the Spirit, all right, from their actions, the things that they're saying, and even their body language, man, okay, is completely off, all right? And we know Esau's full of bribes, all right? We know this man's MO. And you got, the Bishop Nate speaking about, different men that have sold out, and how, these different things are set up where they'll give you a blank check, to go along with their agenda, this, that, and so forth, man, okay? It says, in whose hands is mischief, and their right hand is full of bribes. But as for me, I will walk in mine integrity. Okay? When you sell out, you no longer have integrity, man. Okay? You're selling out your people, for some money, for some fame, for various other things. All right? And you basically consented to the enemy to do their work. It says, But as for me, I will walk in mine integrity, redeem me, and be merciful unto me. My foot standeth in an even place, and the congregations will I be blessed. All right? We got to keep our integrity. We got to keep standing strong for Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, no matter how the world looks at us or perceives us, man. Okay? And you best believe that there's agents, there's spies among us, and Esau is gathering information. He's forming a narrative, and he's about to push it on a very, very high level, man. Okay? And it's going to be concerning the quote-unquote black Hebrew Israelites, as this devil loves to put it. And, we're right there. We're right there of heavy demonization upon the prophets, man. Okay? The ones that are out there on the highways and byways teaching and you know, not only the ones that are teaching the correct doctrine, but Esau, you know, when he comes down on the quote unquote black Hebrew Israelites, he's coming down on Salaki. Let me plug my phone up real quick. This joint die. You know, he's not just coming after one group or two groups. He's coming down on the whole thing. All right, he's coming down on all the camps, all the groups, which were already lumped up into one group. You know, when these people walk down the street and they see men gathered and reading out the Bible with garments on, or even T-shirts with fringes, you know, they say those are the quote-unquote black Hebrew Israelites, and they don't look at any other. Well, I say for the most part, you know, as a majority, our people and these other nations don't look at, you know, the camps as being, you know, different sects of camps and having different doctrines. Okay, you know, they look at us as all teaching the same doctrine, you know, and all being united together, so to speak, which we're not. We have different doctrines, okay, and we have different beliefs, and we teach different things, okay. And you got some guys that have sold out, took that bad. You got some guys that are teaching damnable heresies, you know. You got some guys that are agent provocateurs, okay. And then you have, you know, the true men of the Lord out there as well, you know, that are pushing this teaching and pushing this wisdom, knowledge, and truth to the best of their abilities with their best foot forward in all sincerity, okay. But like we read in Luke chapter 8 and the 17th verse, everything's going to be brought to light and everything's going to be exposed, okay. So you doing things behind the dark, you know, you ain't getting nothing past Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Lord willing, that was edifying. To the next time, Shalom.